At the head, you know what I mean? If we're in three receivers, and they know kind of what we're gonna run. So it kind of it's like, but in the summertime, not the other day, I just made up a play, you know. So you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
When you were a redshirt freshman before you played Nebraska, I asked you if you knew who Johnny Rogers was, and you said, "No, I don't." Do you now?
I still don't.
You still don't?
No.
He's a Heisman Trophy winner, and he's about your size. Do honors like that ever enter into your mind?
The honorees, like the people.
No, the chance that maybe you winning some big award, the Heisman or the Blitnikoff.
Yeah. I'd be a fool to say no. You know, I want to win every possible award there is. You know, but it starts in off season. You know, it starts day by day, and I feel like I put myself in the right position to make something happen. But at the end of the day, if I don't catch any balls, you know, I would be mad. But as long as we win and we get to the big game, and maybe I'll catch a big ball there. You know what I mean? So,
are there any receivers you watch on TV or tape to try to learn any new tricks?
Chad Johnson. You know, I go to the NFL. Chad Johnson, I actually had one of his cut-ups from his 2005. Had like 80-something balls like that. His just route running was so crisp, you know. And he's not too much bigger than I am, you know, same kind of deal. So that's the guy I admire and I look after. It's Chad Johnson.
He's not going to like it. You called him Johnson.
Ocho Cinco. Still Chad Johnson. It's Chad Johnson to me, but I like Ocho Cinco. Hopefully someday he will go back to his real name. You know, he won't be 85 forever. So, but yeah, no knock on that. Chad Johnson.
Okay.
Ryan, there's been a lot of talk with the recent video game coming out about the ratings. Is there any arguments or anything about in the Oklahoma locker room about that?
Nope.
Do y'all pay attention to that?
Well, the game's out, yeah. No.
Yeah,
Not really.
care less.
I play it. I play online sometimes, but I'm more of a FIFA guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I try to get away from football when I go home, that type of thing.
You watch the World Cup?
Yeah.
Were you satisfied with it?
Yeah, it was all right. You know, I didn't get to watch as many games as I did, even though it was on a whole month. But yeah, USA got knocked out, and then from that point, it was kind of like, I don't know. But no, I was satisfied. Yeah.
How important is this series, if at all, is this year's Texas game for Congress for you?
Oh, it's always a big game. You know, we need that game. We need to win that game. You know, to even be factored in to win the Big 12 championship. So it's always a big game, big rivalry, great athletes going head to head. You know what I mean? And out in the Cotton Bowl, it's always a good atmosphere.
Any added pressure with it being one of your last year and the past couple years not going the way you want it to?
You know, we practice every year. We practice to win, so I can't really say there's any pressure. You know, there's always pressure playing here at the University of Oklahoma, knowing that guys are marking us. You know what I mean? So we practice to win.
Ryan, can you describe the Sun Bowl? Did you have fun down there in West Texas?
Oh yeah, I had a good time. You know, the weather wasn't too bad. Never been to that part of the United States before. So it wasn't bad. I know it was right next to Juarez, so it was kind of like a historical type thing, you know. It was just like I'm in a place like right across the border or something that's so devastating to the United States. So it wasn't a bad environment at all, you know. The mountains out there, it's something I don't ever really see, so it was a cool experience.
You want to go back?
One day, but not to play. Not to play.
Kind of get where I'm getting at. I mean, just the fact that you guys were there, I would guess that you felt good about winning, but there was still something missing. I mean, you want to be.
Oh yeah, it was one of the first bowl games we won in a while, you know. So that's always a good feeling. We feel like we want to. We play here. We commit to the University of Oklahoma to play the biggest games, BCS games. So there's no knock on the Sun Bowl, but we feel like we're a better team that can compete against greater teams. Even though Stanford was a great team, they had great players.
Ryan, how often do you think about, or are you reminded of the Texas game, just being in the locker room and everything that he beat Texas tonight?
That's one of our biggest rivalries, so it's always in the back of our head. But like I was saying, we take it one game at a time, and we really do, though. You know what I mean? If you don't win the first game, then you're out of the BCS. You know, you don't win the second game. It's just you got to win every game. You know, so we take every game just as important. But the whole atmosphere of the whole week of playing Texas is definitely a different feat.
Is it Landry Jones? Does he seem more comfortable? I mean,
yeah. You know, just with the experience and feeling more comfortable definitely comes with the game experience, but not just that, just knowing you're the guy. You know, it feels like if he does make a mistake, then he's not going to get benched. That type of thing. You know, so last year how Sam did get hurt. We didn't know what game he was going to come back, so Landry still wasn't all the way comfortable until Sam was officially out. So I feel like from that point on, he made great strides to be a better player, and I feel like he's done the same thing this offseason.
DeMarco was saying that Landry's been a lot more vocal since last year. Have you seen that, and is that a good plus?
Oh yeah, he's found his place. You know, he's a quarterback. He's the leader of the team. So if he did anything less than that, then that wouldn't be right. So he knows being a quarterback he has at the University of Oklahoma, he has a lot to live up to.
Do you think Sam should just go ahead and sign his contract?
Yeah, so the other guys can get their contracts done too. But yeah, I know Sam wants to be out there. You know, no one wants to be a rookie and not be able to practice your first NFL practice. You know, that's what we grow up to want to do. So I know the contract situation and all that isn't all too hot, but when he gets out there, I feel like he's going to produce and be Sam Bradford.
You going to be there next year
Where's that?
in the NFL?
I'm planning on staying my next 2 years. You know, I want to break every record I can here.
Yeah. But could you change your mind? You think if you have a really great season?
I feel people change their mind every day. You know, I'm a prime example of that. So I'm gonna play this year like I have another year, but I'm gonna play every game like I have no more games to play. You know, so I'm just gonna prepare and play the best I can and worry about the next year to come at the end of the season.
But the fact that some of the, remember those great junior Sooners came back, and a couple of them like Sam got hurt. Will that influence your decision?
It's football. You know, I've been playing since second grade. You know, people get hurt.